Okay, so it's going now. Yeah, so if you don't mind recording consent.
So I'm Amlan Basu. I'm a PhD student in the University of Strathclyde, and I'm from India. And I have given consent to Bet to record the video, and I have no problems with whatever questions she is going to ask for her research. And yes, I would like to request her to send a copy of the video, if I will be able to. Yeah.
Of the video recording?
Video recording, if you can. It's not not a compulsory. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
compulsory.
that's fine. I think I should be able to do that. And when I've written the full project, would you like to receive the results of the project?
No, and that's not required. Yeah, that's
okay. No worries. Can I just ask out of curiosity, where in India are you from?
Actually, I am born in Kolkata, West Bengal, right? But right now my family is staying in Mumbai.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you would speak Bengali, Maharashtra?
So, okay. So I speak Bengali. It's my mother tongue. I speak Hindi quite fluently because I have stayed in central parts of India. So I have received all my education in the central part of India, in Madhya Pradesh, basically. And my earlier one was in Chhattisgarh, right? And then we moved to Maharashtra. I understand Marathi a bit, but I can't speak it so fluently. Some of the things I speak. So I know English, Hindi, and Bengali. Yeah.
मुझे तोरी तोरी हिंदी आती है.
Nice. अच्छा लगा ये सुन के.
मेरी हिंदी अच्छी नहीं है.
No, you're speaking very well. No, you're speaking very well. Very nice.
So I was just curious. I love meeting people from India because I'm like, I love the
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will start. Oops, it's out of the document. We'll start with the interview. Just to begin with, if you can just tell me a little bit about yourself. So, where you come from, what you're studying, how long you've been in the UK for.
I'm from India, and I did my graduation and post-graduation in India, from ITM University, Gwalior. It is in Madhya Pradesh, and then I moved here. And before that, I have published many research papers and patents and copyrights. But so I was very much interested in pursuing my career in research. So I therefore decided to pursue my PhD. And right now I'm pursuing my PhD in artificial intelligence. So I'm quite happy with whatever I'm doing right now. And and before that, my schooling, I did my first school was DAV Public School, Kusmunda. It is in Chhattisgarh. And the second school, which was my last one, was St. Joseph's Convent in Ratlam. So so that's all about me. And I have always been an average student. I was never a brilliant kind of student or something. And still I'm an average student. I'm still learning, and I would like to learn throughout my life. So that's all about me.
Okay, lovely. I think what you call average students tend to be the hardest working ones. I think honestly, if you are getting too good grades too fast, then you just get lazy.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Okay, lovely. And so how long have you been living in the UK for?
So it's like almost 2.5 years. 2.5 years. So I'm staying here from, I arrived here on 27 November 2017.
Okay.
To be exact.
Yeah.
And so it's almost 2.5 years, almost. Yeah.
Okay. And you came here to study your PhD?
My PhD, yeah. Just for my PhD.
Yeah, amazing. And can you tell me a little bit about your hobbies? What you like to do for fun?
Well, my hobbies, I'll say I like to read books. I'm quite a ferocious reader. But there is no specific kind of topic that I want to read. I always read something that is good. That's it. It doesn't matter, the topic doesn't matter. And then my other hobbies but now it is not anymore, was to play cricket, football, and I was also quite good in squash and horse riding. But now it is not there because of my PhD. Of course, I'm very much occupied with the work that I'm doing right now. So right now the hobby has become like reading research papers. So you can understand. So those are about my hobbies.
Yeah, I can imagine. PhDs sound like so much work, honestly, talking to people who are doing them now.
Yes.
Like,
because it's like, I have written a journal paper. So we are editing it from last 6 months. so you can understand how much we are occupied. So
Yeah.
so you'll have to be very, very much perfect about everything. So it's not that easy. So
Yeah.
therefore, you'll have to keep aside some of the things that you cannot do every time. So
Yeah, I can imagine. Okay, and just as a fun question, what has been a big cultural difference that you have found between India and the UK?
well, it's a huge huge difference between India and UK.
Uh-huh.
Well, definitely they have ruled us for 200 years,
Mm.
but still there have been, because India is like, Indian people are very much into their culture and tradition. They cannot compromise with that,
Mm-hmm.
whether it is about religion, whether about its culture, tradition, and everything. So it's like, here it is, I have seen that everybody is too independent, right? So
Mm-hmm.
for example, what happens in India is like, whether you are in school, whether you are in college or in university, doesn't matter, you are always associated with your parents, and you are dependent, quite, I'll not say completely dependent, but yes, partially you are always dependent. Your parents are very much concerned about you, whether you are studying or not. Even
Mm-hmm.
today I'm doing my PhD, but still my parents ask if you are studying or not. But that thing I have not seen here. They are too independent, they are left, but yes, everything has a pros and cons. I'm not saying that it is not good, but
Yeah.
yes, that's one of the cultural differences. Moreover, like in India, when we talk to our professors, we always address them by sir, saying them sir or madam, like that. Here
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen that. Here it is like quite like uh, calling them by name or something like that. So it
Yeah.
was a bit uncomfortable kind of thing for me, calling my professor as by his name. So it
Mm-hmm.
took a bit more time. So so these small cultural differences are there. Also the eating habits, like we don't eat beef or pork or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite okay with chicken, mutton, and all those things, but yes, those things are, so you'll have to get adjusted to that thing also, because you cannot just say that you cannot have it here or something. You'll have to adjust. So you'll have to be in your personal zone, they will have to be in their personal zone.
Mm-hmm.
So the eating thing is bit uh, bit peculiar for, definitely for Indians coming here. So yeah, so these are the small things that I have seen.
Yeah.
Yes, the accent in Scotland is a bit a problem.
Yeah.
That's a bit a problem. But if you go to England, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that these are all the small things that are there. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was a perfect answer. Thank you so much.
No worries.
Yeah, I lived in Delhi for a year, and
All
I
right.
agree with all these differences. I think family
Yes.
values and being close to your family in
Yes.
India is much more
Yes.
valued than it is
Yes.
here.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Um, okay, so we're gonna move on to talking a little bit about your work and your studies.
Okay.
So if you can just tell me a little bit more about what you are doing in your PhD, what kind
Okay.
of work does it involve?
So I'm working, my topic is like developing a indoor home scene recognition using neural networks. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So here what we do is we collect the data of indoor home scenes, different scenes and objects, and then we train a neural network, and we ask it, after training it, we ask it uh, to recognize the different scenes and objects present here. We are specifically doing it for the assistive technology, keeping in mind the change of population that is going to happen in 2050, because as per United Nations report, it says that the age, people with age more than 60 will be double in 2050 than today, and with people having more than 85 years of age will be 4 times than what they are today. All right.
Uh-huh.
So definitely everybody will not be staying with their family or something. Many of them will choose to stay alone, so therefore they require some kind of assistance. So
Mm-hmm.
we are trying to develop a particular kind of ability in assistive systems, so that they can easily uh, identify different areas of the home, right, along with the objects, so that the initial task, for example, if the person says that particular assistive system to bring a glass of water, so that should understand, the system should understand that it should go to the kitchen, So kitchen it should find the kitchen, then find the glass, and then the water, and then bring it back to the bedroom, right?
Yeah.
So this is what we are trying to do right now. So we are trying to solve the problem of actually recognizing the scenes properly, because that's the initial task, then the object. So we are doing the initial problem solving task kind of thing. Yeah, that's
Well,
my work.
that's amazing. I
Thank
feel
you.
like that would be such a helpful thing too, like not just
Yes,
for older people, but for
yes,
people with disabilities or people
yes,
who need, yeah, and it would allow people to live much more independently. I
yes,
think that it's amazing
yeah,
work.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So, how do you work on this? Do you work in a lab? Do you work from home mainly on a computer, or?
Well, we have computer labs, right? But we need heavy computer systems, right? So right now, since the lockdown has started, the work has become a bit slower
Mm-hmm.
than what it was, because we have only one system with 4 GPUs. That
Mm-hmm.
is a common computer, so we cannot access it right now. So therefore it has definite, because it helps us to get the results quite faster, right?
Yeah.
And we can do more experiments, more things there. But right now it has now restricted us, because we have our own personal computers with only one GPU. So therefore the task becomes very slower. So what we used to do in one day, now we are able to do it in 1 week or 2 weeks, right? So that's the only difference that has come. So we are more into writing work right now.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I can imagine. Is that okay? Is that the pace of work you're comfortable with, or is it
Well,
very
since I am in
frustrating?
the final year right now,
Uh-huh.
and I have only one objective to clear, so for me it's fine, because I definitely want to be more into writing and all stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So for me it will be fine, because ultimately the day it is going to open, then it will hardly take me 1 or 2 months to complete that particular objective.
Yeah.
So I am fine with it. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Well, that's good. At least it came at a good time.
Yes.
More or
For
less.
me it's yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. And could you describe for me what a typical day would be like for you before the lockdown began?
Well, to be honest, I when well I went for a vacation to India in December, January. I came back on 15th of January here. That time everything was normal. There was nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
But looking into the situation, right, I was quite confident that it is going to come here as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I started ordering masks and everything, right? Mouth masks and everything.
That's smart. Yeah.
So, well, then the lockdown came on 16th of March, right? Before that I was working quite normally, going for shoppings and everything. I spent the days normally. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
On I think uh, on 28th of February or 21st of February, I was able to know that in Glasgow also there is a case now. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So yes, that made me quite like what you'll say, be more careful. From there on started the sanitization process, washing your hands every time, right? And then wearing the mask, right? So yeah, that was, but I was not certainly panicked, because definitely it's like if you'll go and study, then the eating habits that we Indians have, the different spices that we use, it
Mm-hmm.
it helps us to build our immunity and all. So I was quite confident that even if it strikes me, right, I will be able to recover quite easily, right? But yeah, certainly I was not panicking, because I knew that the government is going to take some steps, right, going into lockdowns and all. Yes, but going into lockdown was bit worrying, because we didn't know how much supplies we will be having, because
Mm-hmm.
everything is going to go under lockdown. So whether we will be able to get the essential things or not whenever we are going out, right? Because going out was a matter of concern that time.
Yeah.
So yeah, these were the things that worried as well, that made me worried. But yeah, after 2 weeks of lockdown, everything was smooth, everything was available, because when the Aldi is the nearest store to me.
Mm-hmm.
So when the lockdown was about to be announced, I saw a complete means everybody bought everything. Means the Aldi was completely empty. So I had to go the next week. But yes, they did quite well. They always talked about the things. So that made us quite relaxed. So yeah, that is how it happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. When you say we, are you living with other people right now?
Yes. I have been staying with 4 more people. So one has already left. So we are right now 4, including me. Yeah.
So is that student accommodation or
Yes,
you?
it's student
Yeah.
accommodation. Yes.
Oh, lovely. It's nice to have flatmates, I guess. Like,
Yes. And new flatmates every year. It's really fun.
oh, I can imagine. Are they? Are your flatmates also other international students, or are
Yes,
they?
they are also international students.
Yeah.
Almost all. Yeah, everybody is international student. Yeah.
Yeah. I can imagine that being very fun, actually.
Yes.
Yeah. So could you describe what the biggest changes in your work life and your studies, and also just in your day-to-day life, have been with the lockdown coming on?
In day-to-day life, I'll say I'm getting less tired as compared to what I was getting that time. Uh, this lockdown act for me individually, if you'll ask me, that this lockdown has actually forced me to become more uh, systematic. Get up on time, because in the earlier stages of lockdown, what happened is we knew that we are not going to go anywhere, we are going to work from home. So what happened is we were sleeping more, and
Yeah.
that was creating kind of anxiety, because when you sleep more at night, you don't get any sleep. So that forced me to be more systematic, get up early in the morning, work, don't sleep after that, just go to sleep only after 11 or something.
Yeah.
And then the eating habits changed. You
Mm-hmm.
have to be more nutritious. You
Mm-hmm.
have to take multivitamins every day, you have to take zinc every day. All these things happened, right? Then at the same time, having hot water every day with turmeric in it, so that you are immune, and if you have it, then it will be gone. Having more water, right? Having every day 4 to 5 liters of water. So these habits grown. And then coming to the work, well, it has not affected the work. We rather, I'll say, we are working better than what we were working as. But yes, the resources have become less, so that's the problem.
Yeah.
Only the resources are the problem, otherwise the work remains the same. Rather, we are trying to work more, because this is the time when we can produce, or we can do more. So yeah, these are the things. So there were not the work is not much affected, but it has affected your life in a very positive way.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. So would you agree for me to say that the changes that have happened have been, you have worked more and you've actually found
Yes,
yourself being more productive,
yes.
and also you've been paying more attention to your health habits?
Health
So,
habits, hygiene, and everything. Yes.
yeah. Okay. That's good. And there was one thing you said at the beginning. You said you were feeling less tired at the beginning.
Yes. So
So,
it was oversleeping. So I used to sleep like 6 to 7 hours at night, right? Get up in the morning, and then what I used to happen, I used to work, I used to have my food, but after having my lunch, I used to feel sleepy again. So I used to sleep again. So I used to sleep 2 hours more,
uh,
and that what after some days, but for 3 to 4 days, it was okay. But after that, what happened is I was not getting sleep at night. So that created anxiety. Why I'm not able to sleep? Is
yeah,
something wrong with me? Because already there was so many things going on wrong,
yeah, of
So
course.
that creates anxiety. So that is how it affected me a bit, but I solved it by not sleeping in the afternoon. And
Yeah,
once I also sacrificed my whole night's sleep, so that I can come back to the normal,
yeah.
yeah. So that's how it happened.
Okay, wow. Um, yeah, it sounds like you've been paying a lot of attention to your health and to your habits and making sure you
Yes,
are regulating
yes,
how your body is doing and what you need,
yes,
which is, yeah, it's
yes.
amazing. Is that kind of attention paying to it? Is that something you used to do before the lockdown?
Well, I was completely into exercising, yoga, and all those things, but I was never into too much into like having very very specified diet or something, because it's not possible every time to have a very balanced and specified diet.
Yeah.
Especially in our kind of work culture and all those things. But this in this particular lockdown, when all these things happen, definitely to look after your immune system, that made me to be more focused
Yeah.
in your diet, because diet is also very much important for your health. So yeah, that's the main reason behind it. Otherwise, as I have always been associated with exercising, looking after your health properly, and all those things. Yeah.
Nice. And have you been able to exercise and do yoga throughout the lockdown too?
Yes. I am doing it every day.
Oh,
So
amazing.
whenever I get up, the first task is to get freshen up and do exercise. Yeah.
Cool. You're probably the healthiest person I've interviewed. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to move on to the next topic,
Sure.
which is friends and family. So if we can start with your family,
Uh-huh.
I take it all your family are around Bombay at the moment?
Yes, my parents are in Mumbai.
Huh?
Yes.
And how do you stay in touch with them?
Call them. So it's like, even if I'm not going to, if I'm late calling them, then they will call me. So it's like we talk twice a day, every day. So yeah, that is how I'm in touch. Sometimes we also do video calling whenever they have time, because they are also in like facing lockdowns and all those things.
Yeah.
So they also have to take care. So we will have to be in touch. And my father is like, he's 55, my mother is 51. So yeah, so they will have to look after themselves. So we are always concerned about each other. So definitely we are in contact with each other. So yeah.
Okay. And has the frequency of contact, has that increased with the lockdown?
Well, I'll not say it has increased, but the duration of talk or conversation has increased.
Okay.
Earlier, it used to be like 10 or 15 minutes. Now it has gone up to 30 minutes or 45 minutes, like that. Sometimes we have more things to discuss. So yeah, so it's like that. So the duration has gone up.
Yeah. And when you say sometimes you have more things to discuss, can you tell me some examples of topics that you talk about more now?
See, when you are sitting ideal, so you have so many things to discuss, okay, this thing happened today, this is happening here, this is the situation. So there are many things. So also the personal things, if somebody has called them and they say it's something and it was important. So yeah, so it is not like a very tensed kind of thing. No, it's quite normal, and we talk normally. So yeah, so this is the thing. So it's like talking about food sometimes, then talking about whether we are taking multivitamins or not. So these small things, but still is important. So
Yeah.
yeah, so these are the things that we talk generally.
Yeah. No, it's nice. It's nice that you care about your family and they care about you,
Thank
and
you.
you're checking up on each other.
Yes, 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 yes,
Especially because I can imagine for them having you so far away must also
yes,
be a
that's
cause of
yes,
anxiety,
yes,
not knowing how
exactly.
you're doing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I can imagine. I know when I lived in India, I stayed with an Indian family. I call them
right.
my second family.
uh
And I know they don't like going for too long without talking. They're
Yes,
like,
yes,
Rita,
yes,
where are
yes.
you?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Um, okay. And so how about your friends back in India? Do you stay in touch with them a lot?
Yes, we have a WhatsApp group,
Uh-huh.
and we also have we have our own video calling app known as Geo Meet. So there
Uh-huh.
also we sometimes do the video calling and all. So we have been doing it like every 2 weeks or 1 week, like that, because they are all now working professionals, and they have also been now in lockdown, so they are working from home. So they also
Mhm.
want to stay in touch with each other. This was the best time when
Mhm.
we stayed in touch with each other, because every time we complain that we don't talk to each other anymore, still we are friends. But this lockdown has actually helped us to bring together again,
Mhm.
and to live the moment which we spent in our past, as
Yeah.
college students and all. So yes, we have been more involved with each other. we know about each other, where we are, how we are. So yes, and it was sharing different views and ideas and news and everything. So it has brought us together, means this lockdown, so yeah, it's quite good.
Oh, amazing. I love that. I feel like it's done a similar thing for me and my friends in Spain. I used to talk to them maybe once every 3 months, and suddenly we were every week like, yeah, let's go talk. Yeah.
Right.
Um, Lovely. And yes, so I think you've told me a little bit about this. Actually, sorry, I forgot to ask, but your friends in Glasgow? So,
In Glasgow, I have some friends, but then again, the cultural differences here is like, we are, even staying in the same city, we are not much in touch, right? My laboratory people or my colleagues, we had one video conferencing on Zoom, but that was too earlier. I think it was in April, right? And then we didn't have, then we had a conference. So in that we were together. Then I think, well, there is one of my friends who is staying just beside the library of Strathclyde. His name is Jonas. So he messaged me twice or thrice. So we had conversation, not conversation, but I'll say that we chat. We did a chat with each other on Messenger. That's it. Otherwise, only the flatmates. That's it. Yeah. So here it is less. With India, it is more.
Yeah, I can imagine. I think that tends to happen. Most of the people in your lab, are they from the UK or are they also international?
So one girl with whom I'm working, and we almost work twice a week. She's from Thailand. Her name is Kirati. Okay.
Nice.
So most of them you'll find they are from China, right? And one girl, she's definitely from Thailand, and one guy, or I think, oh yeah, one or two from Scotland. So
Okay.
Scottish people are less. Means from UK people are less. International students are more in my group.
Yeah, that's fair. And yeah, how are your flatmates? If they can hear you, don't say anything too bad.
No. It's completely fine. Well, even in flats, we sometimes we are not able to see each other for 2 days or 3 days. It happens, but they are all good. One of my flatmate. One is from Zambia, one is from Ghana, and two were from China. One is gone, he's back, and one is still staying here. So they are all quite good. They are cooperating, and they are also looking behind the hygiene and all. So we have the disinfectant. So one day I do the disinfectant thing, right? And then we are keeping a watch on each other whether we are not good, and they will then definitely, we are, even if we are staying together, we are trying to do the social distancing, right? As much as possible, because we are staying together, so it's not possible every time when you are in kitchen or something. Then we are also trying to do more the highest level of hygiene, keep highest level of hygiene in the common areas like living room, kitchen, bathroom, because bathroom is also sharing. So we are bringing different kind of disinfectants and all those things. So they are all cooperative, and they have helped a lot in this kind of situation, because this time when you are staying together with different habits, so it's very difficult to maintain that kind of hygienic level, but they have done it quite well.
Nice. So you've been working together to stay safe, and
Yes, and it was very necessary at this time. So, and it happened. I'm quite happy with it.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you getting along well with them, and you all have the same standards, and yeah, that's important.
Yes.
So I forgot to tell you at the beginning of the interview, I have a couple of breaks scheduled in.
No problem.
It's only an hour interview, but if
Okay.
you would like to take a 5-minute break, if you need anything.
It's up to you. It's up to you. I can go for 2 hours, no problem.
Okay, well, we can keep going, and I'll offer you the second one when we get there. It's just to make sure that you're okay, you don't need a break.
No problem. Yeah.
Okay, so the next topic is about information.
Okay.
So I wanted to ask you, where do you get most of your information or your news from?
Well, I have different applications.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I have a Indian app known as MacTap. In that, you can browse, you can see different news and all those things. Otherwise, I go for Google News and all those things.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have a TV. We can watch it anytime we want to, BBC and all those things. Yeah, so from these places I get my news, and
Yeah.
of course social media. So,
Yeah. That's a good variety.
yeah.
Would you say when you are looking at news, do you tend to focus more on news from India, from the UK, or do you do a mixture?
Well, I focus on more on UK and India
Mm-hmm.
first, and then comes the world,
Yeah.
and then of course every day I check on the corona stats of Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
So that's right now the trending thing for me.
Yeah, fair.
Right.
And how do you think um, the situation in India and in the UK, how do they compare?
Well, comparing will not be a good thing here because the habits of people are
Mm-hmm.
very different. For example, I don't know what actually the recovery rate is here,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think it is too much higher at the higher side, because in India right now the recovery rate is 70%,
Huh.
right? So well, comparing it, definitely the cases are more. Like
Mm-hmm.
today they are doing every day. I mean, the test that right now that they are doing is around 600,000 every day
Oh
in
wow.
India.
Uh-huh.
So, and they are going to go up to, I think, 1 million now. They have already started it.
Mm-hmm.
So today, since they are doing 600,000 tests, so they were able to detect 60,000 positive, right? So definitely the rate is low, but since the population is so big, we have higher number of people affected by corona.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'll say in UK, since the population is less,
Mm-hmm.
therefore the data will be low, definitely. But
Mm-hmm.
the concerning thing is the population is low, and this thing is the positive rate is higher and the recovery rate is low, so that is a bit concerning. So I'll not compare UK and India, because India is supplying the pharmaceutical things, the
Yeah.
HCQs and many things. Even the new Oxford vaccine is going to be tested in India. The third phase of trial is going to be in India,
Wow. Yeah.
and I think they are going to produce 300 million doses by December for it.
Gosh. Yeah.
And the name of that institute is Serum Institute Private Limited, Pune. It's in Pune.
Oh, in Pune. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Huh.
And definitely we are also coming up with our own vaccine, which is in trial stage, and there are 3 or 4 vaccines in India right now in the trial
Mm-hmm.
stage. So both countries are doing their best, because this is a you can say extraordinary situation which
Mm-hmm.
nobody has ever faced.
Yeah.
So I will not say that this country is doing that. Yes, but one thing I'll say,
Mm-hmm.
UK was very less prepared, right? And
Mm-hmm.
they were not able to understand the wave that is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Because I today also remember the lockdown was actually announced when there were already 6,000 cases registered. But
Mm-hmm.
in India, what they did the reverse thing. When there were just 500 cases, they announced a lockdown. The
Mm-hmm.
lockdown was there for 4 weeks, and during that time, they prepared everything:
Huh.
beds, ICUs, ordering more ventilators. We even during that time we even became the second highest PPE producers.
Mm-hmm.
So we in India, they prepared everything, during that lockdown. Then they started opening slowly, and
Mm-hmm.
that was the time when the positive cases started
Mm-hmm.
increasing. But during those 4 weeks, they analyzed, what is the situation in future that we are going to face, and whether we are prepared for it or not. And even they use the trained coaches to create isolation wards. So everything is ready in India. They are not panicking. We are ready to face any problem. But
Yeah.
since they have a good recovery rate, therefore they started opening everything. And I think in few days you'll see India completely open, but yes, we have cases, but we also have good recovery rate. So yeah, that was the basic difference between UK, but it's quite understandable because it's an extraordinary situation, so anybody can go wrong anywhere.
No, but I do agree the UK was very unprepared, and they had the
Yes.
information and they should have known better. But
Yes.
yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, so you seem to know a lot about what is going on both in the UK and in India.
Yes.
You have like very good knowledge on what's happening and very up-to-date information. Has your following of the news changed with the lockdown? Did you used to stay this updated about what was going on?
Yeah, I used to stay updated every time.
Huh.
So nothing has changed for me. Like I'm looking more into news now. No, nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking in the same frequency towards the news as I used to do earlier. So yeah, so that has remained the same. I'll
Yeah.
not say that after Corona I started watching news more. So no, it was not like that.
Okay. You're just generally a very well informed
Generally,
person.
yes.
And with the whole Corona thing happening, obviously we had a time when we were bombarded by a lot of news and a lot of quick changes.
Right.
Did you notice a difference in how you felt when you were checking the news?
Well, what I observed is like the news channels actually. Well, I'm not accusing them, but it was like creating more panic. People are still under panic. They are not able to like go out, and because now the governments have already set up the rules, what you have to do, what you will not have to do, right? The rules are there, and if you follow them, you'll never be get affected, right?
Yeah.
But since the earlier panic that was created, because since Corona has no proper medicine or proper cure or something like that, so that is what I felt, that panic was going on, so which was not required.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that is what I felt, a negative thing. But the positive thing, that the news agencies, they kept on updating us, what is happening, what is not happening, what are the rules that are going to come up, right? What are the rules that you are going to follow, where you can find these things, where to contact. So I'll say they kept us updating, but at the same time they kept us panicking as well. That was not good. So I'm quite happy and quite sad both with the news agencies.
Yeah. And what would you say in terms of providing people with updates and also spreading panic? What would you say the role of social media was in that?
Well, what I did from my side was, I tried to share my practices, what I am doing to strengthen my immunity system, using my own knowledge, that we have. We call it Ayurveda. It's an Indian science, Indian medicinal science that is existing from ancient times. So I am practicing that. I'm trying to have nutritious food. So I tried to share my own practices, and many of them followed it, So through social media, definitely social media helped to inform others that it is not a time to panic, but time to prepare, But at the same time, I saw in social media, there were so many people who were talking negative, like whether I'll stay alive or not, whether I'll be able to see the future world or the post pandemic or not. So those kinds of posts also have seen on social media. So well, social media helped in spreading awareness, and also it helped people, the individual, to go under panic or to go under anxiety, So yeah, so it also had both positive and negative impact, but I will say that it had more positive impact, because ultimately we tried to connect to each other, So one positive, if there is one optimistic person, then the optimism spreads, If negative spreads, then optimism spreads as well. So whosoever was writing negative, he became positive, right? So that is how it helped, because we are in that is a kind of interaction going on in social media, so you can make them understand. but in news it is not like that. It's a one-way communication. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good way of putting it. Yeah, I think you've already thought about these things so thoroughly. Like, yeah, I don't even have follow-up questions. You answer everything.
Well,
okay. I'll move on to the last big topic I have on here. So this last topic, it was asking about mental health.
okay.
I'm not going to ask anything too personal. I don't want you to share
That's fine.
if you don't want to
That's fine.
share. But if there's anything you're uncomfortable with, just say, don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. Sure.
Fine, huh?
Yeah.
Just so you know, because, yeah. Anyway. So have you noticed in your friends, your family, the people around you, and also yourself, have you noticed a change on how people talk about mental health?
Well, one of my friends, he stays in Jaipur right now. I had a talk with him. He had some personal problem, and he was facing some mental problem because already there is a lockdown, and he's more into those thoughts, So he even said that sometimes I feel like committing suicide. So, so that was a bit
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
yes, but yeah. So I think that was the right time for me to come in for him and encourage him and all those things. Then I also saw my father a bit panicking. He's a bit nervous because he has to go to work. Well, definitely he's now working from home, so he's fine. But at the same time, he was also a bit panicking if I had to go to work, and that is also important. But what if I get affected or by it or something like that? But yes, when I used to explain him that we have to take measures and all, encourage them, so that helped. So definitely I have seen some of the people going towards the negative, but not enough people. I just saw 2 or 3 people like that, or I dealt with 2 or 3 people, but rest of them, they enjoyed the lockdown, to be honest. So, and to be honest, in India, one thing was very good. When they announced the lockdown, they started all the series that we used to watch during our childhood, the 90s things, and the best part was Ramayana, our epic, our very important epic. So everybody watched it, everybody enjoyed it. So I think that helped them to come out of the anxiety,
Yeah.
So these things helped. So I never came across so much things of related to mental health. But at the same time, if I talk about myself, like I already told you that I was having the sleep problem, but I solved it. So yeah, so that is the only problem. Yeah, sometimes I missed going out, right? Because every time you cannot go out, so that thing I missed a lot, because every day there used to be a routine that I have to go to lab, so I'm seeing different things, I'm going to the gym, I'm meeting different people, so that reduced. So definitely there was a time when I was not feeling good about it, but later on when I talked to my friends and all those things, so it got solved. So yes, a minute things happened, very minute things. Yeah.
And do you think, I mean, you've talked a lot about, so everyone who seems to have a bad feeling about that or who had issues with it, they talked to other people, and you yourself
Yes.
also talked to others, and it helped
Yes.
solve that.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think that was something that happened before the lockdown too, or do you think it has increased?
No, only after lockdown, not before lockdown. So it has proven that you'll have to talk to each other. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's a nice thing if people can
Yes.
reach out and it helps them.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, but I was just curious to see if it was something that already was happening before, if it was a new thing.
Yeah.
Um, okay. And now this is more a question about yourself personally.
Uh-huh.
So if you think about when you're having a bad day, you've received some bad news, you're just not feeling that great. What are the things before the lockdown? What were the things you would do to make yourself feel better?
Well, during the lockdown, I received a very bad message of my maternal grandmother's demise.
Oh,
We
I'm so
lost
sorry.
her. Yeah, we lost her on I think 31st of March,
Mm-hmm.
and even so that was a kind of a very bad feeling. Definitely. See, then what happens is when you are staying alone, then what you do is you try to come in communication with the very closed ones, you know. So I tried to do that, and I even came in contact with them, and that really helped me. And at the same time, definitely, I cried a lot during the morning. So that also helped me to relax myself, you know. So it's not bad crying, you know.
Yeah.
That proves. So
No,
I cried.
especially when someone close to you has
Yes,
passed
yes,
away, you need to
yes,
let it out.
yes.
Huh?
So, and to be honest, the extraordinary situation here was that we cannot go into her funeral to see her for the last time, because everything is locked, cannot move from there or here. So yes, that was one of the worst news that I received during the lockdown, and I quite well dealt with it, because of course I also have to console my mother, because she
Yeah.
lost her mother, right? So it's a huge loss. Losing a mother is a huge loss in anyone's life. So I tried to console myself, I tried to control myself, and I thought that yes, I am the one who is going to also have to look towards my mother. So that helped me to come back and do the duty that I am supposed to do. So yes, so talking and consoling yourself helps. So yeah, that
Yeah.
is how I dealt with these things. Yeah.
No, that's fair. And I'm happy that your mother also had you there to take care of her.
Yes,
Even if
yes,
it's long distance, it sounds
yes,
like you were really there for her.
yes, yes,
Um,
yes,
I'm sure she appreciated it a lot because it must have been very hard. Uh,
yes.
yeah, with
It's
all the
really
love.
very hard. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Um, yeah, is there anything you used to do to make yourself feel better on a bad day that you can't do anymore now during lockdown?
Well, the best part about me was uh, going to the gym and releasing your stress, the whole day stress of your work. So that I missed, but that I tried to overcome by watching different videos, informative videos on YouTube, coming to know about different YouTube channels, right? And reading about different things, you know. Then also meditation a bit, not that much. I'm not good in meditation, but I try to do. So reading different religious things, you know. Then thinking about my work, what new I can do, right? Definitely it is not related to my PhD, but in future what I can do with my work, right? Spending and then thinking about my future, my career, how to set it up, you know. So there were many things to replace that exercising part, you know, to release your stress. So these things I used to do generally. Yeah.
Okay, so you found good replacements in all cases.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
that's important. Um, Lovely. So I think, yeah, we're getting towards the end now. It won't be more
Okay.
than an hour.
No, no worries.
Um, so I,
Uh-huh.
yeah, do you feel like you are well informed about the well-being services available to you here in Glasgow?
Yes, yes, because I have always been receiving, because I'm registered with this uh, Royal Infirmary, right? So they keep on messaging when they are available, and if you have any kind of symptom, where to contact, right? The numbers and everything. So they keep
Okay.
messaging. Okay, so that helped me a lot. So yeah, so I was well informed. And also when like I'm watching a YouTube video or any video, so there they will come up with advertisement of NHS. So if you want to get tested, so where should you go, which website you should visit? So everything is available. So yeah, that was quite satisfying, that yes, I know where to go, where to contact during these kinds of things if such things happens
Yeah.
to me. So yeah, so I was satisfied with what what was informed about well-being services, you know. Yeah.
Okay. And have you received much information or support from the university?
Yes, university helped us a lot, right? They always kept on saying that you'll not have to worry. And they also were very good, because this time what they did was, if anybody wanted to leave, they canceled the contract then and there. They never even charged. Moreover, I am a student assistant in my accommodation. So I do a duty every week, right? Once. So even my rest of the rent that I had to pay in 2 installments more is waived off, just for me, since I'm working, right? Moreover, they have even tried to do different kind of Zoom meetings with the hall residents and all, everyone, right? And they kept messaging what is the situation right now, if we are opening or not, which are the services that will always be available for you. So every information was shared. And yes, and also we are since associated with different societies, like we have our own Indian society and all. They also helped us and informing different things. So yeah, so everything was quite good from university side.
Yeah, that's amazing. And has the university organized any online social events? You said there were
Yes,
calls.
they organized 3 or 4 times.
Uh-huh.
So yes, it was good. Yeah.
Nice. So you've been receiving a lot of good support then?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, I think this is all of my main questions that I've asked here.
All right.
The last thing I would like to ask you is if there's anything that you think is important that we haven't talked about, or anything you want to add on to it.
No, I think there you have covered almost everything. Only the thing is that what I have observed, and I would suggest the people of Scotland to wear the mask, you know, because I have seen, because I every day look outside. So what happens is, yesterday I saw a person, he went inside, that time he was wearing the mask, but when he's getting out, he removed the mask and he kept it in the pocket. So that is not needed to be done, you know. That is not a good practice. Right now we are into an extraordinary situation, so you should follow the rules. Wear the mask. It's for your benefit, for your safety. So I want the people of Scotland to follow the rules properly during this thing, because we don't want a second wave, to be honest.
Yeah.
So that's all what I want to say in
Yeah.
this particular thing. Follow the rules. That's it. Well, it's a problem everywhere, because wearing a mask also is like, we are not habitual to it, but we can't do anything else except this. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's all what I can say. Yeah.
It's a very simple thing to do, and people don't seem to
Yes.
understand it.
Yes.
It's not that hard.
Yes. Right. Right.
Yeah. But yeah, brilliant. I'm gonna stop recording now because
Okay.
I think that's just the end of the interview. I'm not gonna hang up yet because I want to say goodbye properly. But
Okay.
I'm gonna stop it. Yeah.